Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Raggy, and today I am bringing you even more Fakemon Maker. Now, the last episode of this one, I believe I created the most Australian Pokemon possible, and that makes a lot of sense because I myself am Australian. But don't you know, I'm an Australian that lives in Canada? So today, I'm going to try and make the most Canadian Pokemon possible. So, without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it. And don't be offended if I don't hit the mark quite as well as you like. I know I did a series of videos not that long ago where I made Pokemon teams based on various choices, and I completely did not think to use Bibarel or Bidoof in the design for the Canadian Pokemon. So, we are definitely going to be including one of them in this design today, but I'm not entirely sure. But, without further ado, we are going to get right into it. So, I think Canadian Pokemon, I think like a moose or a deer or something like that you would find in the woods. Certainly we are working with a quadruped. So, for the body today, I think we are going to go with Stantler. We are absolutely going to lead with Stantler, and if you watched my series where I made Pokemon teams, then yes, this looks very reminiscent. Stantler was on that team as well, but we are going to lead that way, and okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with Stantler because it includes his antlers, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but that's not what I kind of had envisioned. So maybe, I wonder, something very similar, we can go with Sawsbuck. Interesting that the winter and autumn forms are actually locked here. But we're going to go with Sawsbuck. We're going to try his body instead. Okay, and that uses the antlers too. But you know what, I think, what was the other one? Autumn. We'll try Autumn because I think, yeah, the one with, if we have to have his antlers, then I definitely want to include the big leaves as well. Okay, we definitely want the big leaves, and yeah, that's a good start, I think. Absolutely. So, okay, rough start, but we are going to lead with Sawsbuck's body. So, now we have to think of like a face, and it's I don't want to be a total cop-out, but I did have Glalie in my Pokemon team for my short that I made as well, because his face reminds me of a hockey player, and hockey is huge here in Canada, if you don't know. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, that's a really small face, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that, but for now we're going to just keep it like that. We will move on now to the feet, and I'm thinking like there's a lot of Canadian wildlife that we could be working with here, and I know that like wolves and coyotes are definitely a thing over here, so I'm going to look up lichen rock. Either one will do, and we're gonna try lichen rock's feet, and that kind of is starting to look more like a cryptid than a Pokemon, if I'm honest. I'm not sure how I feel about the wolf feet on this guy. I did mention that I was definitely going to include Bidoof or Bibarel somewhere in this design, so let's give them a go and see how it goes. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna get it done right out of the way now. We have to have a beaver tail on this thing. Okay. That's starting to shape up. That is starting to shape up pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. And you know what? This might have also been in the Pokemon team I designed, but I'm pretty sure there's polar bears somewhere in Canada. There's a lot of space to cover. What if we try that face? Okay, that's actually kind of perfect, if I'm honest. Like with because it's got the ice, the snow. Snow is a huge thing in Canada. Like 6 months out of the year, at least where I'm at in Canada. Okay, so we got like the bear ice face, like the icy bear face. We got like the autumn leaf head. We're modeled after like a deer. We've got the beaver tail. What else is like strictly Canadian? We really got to find some legs for this guy that don't look absolutely disgusting. So I'm just gonna start like thinking of like random animals that I'll definitely see here. There's squirrels. We had a squirrel move into the tree just outside of our house today. I'm stoked about that because squirrels aren't a thing where I'm from in Australia, and I'm just like people around here are like, oh, squirrels. Oh, I hate those pests, but I'm just fascinated by them. We have the 9 to 5 squirrel is what we call him. He goes that way at 9 in the morning, and then he comes back this way at 5 in the afternoon. He's our 9 to 5 squirrel, and I'm pretty sure he just moved in just outside of our house. I am so stoked about that. Anyways, on the subject of squirrels, here's Greedent. And, maybe we could have used Greedent's tail. No, we'll just use his feet. If we can. I kind of hate that. It kind of makes him look like a dog. Yeah, I don't like that at all. But there is... Okay, the feet are always like the worst part to try and work with because they scale down to like whatever size of the body is supposed to be. So it's like you could have like a Pokemon with like naturally large feet that look ridiculously small because it's on a small Pokemon's body or whatever. It's so silly. The only other squirrel Pokemon I can think of offhand is Pachirisu, and I don't know. You can't even use his feet. That's how small his feet are. You can't use them in conjunction with other Pokemon's bodies. Hate that. Okay. What about like a Canadian bird or something? Why am I suddenly not able to think of any Canadian animals? You can see that I'm very prepared for this, obviously. Okay. Mountain lions are absolutely a thing in Canada, puma, or cougars, whatever you want to call them, and I am suddenly having trouble remembering any Pokemon based on that. I'm going to say Persian, just because I feel like Persian is kind of based on a cougar. Like, that's what he kind of looks like to me. And we're going to use his legs, right? Mountain lion legs. Still really small looking on a Sawsbuck body. But that's not bad. Okay, so we've got Sawsbuck's body and like his antlers with the leaves, which is perfect. We've got a bare face with like icicles coming off his mouth. Beaver tail. We've got mountain lion legs, which is pretty cool. I don't think we're gonna give this thing wings. I don't think that's very like Canadian. I can't think of like any Canadian birds, and I don't think that suits this creature. I think it's just going to look so much better if we just leave it as is. But we do have to figure out the color. Now, if you did watch my series of shorts where I made Pokemon teams, you already know that I included Delibird on that team because his colors were based on the Canadian flag. Or that's not what they're based on, but that's what it made me think. I thought of the Canadian flag because it's red and white. So, bit of a cop-out this video, I think, because I'm just recycling old ideas. But I feel like it might work really well if we go with Delibird again, if only to get that coloring. And if it doesn't look good, we'll try something else. But it also helps that with like his weird feathers on his head and everything, he kind of looks like a maple leaf too, which is like the symbol of Canada. So, I feel like this is a match made in heaven. Let's just see how it looks. Okay, you know what? It didn't come out like quite the shocking color of red that I was expecting it to. But it's used like the color of Delibird's feet to color in the tail and the leaves, and that's come out kind of perfectly. And even like the ice shards on like his mouth, the icicles, are white. It's kind of perfect. So, okay. I'm going to call it right here. This was a pretty short one, pretty quick and easy. I based pretty much all of my ideas based off of other Pokemon, but I did remember to include Bibarel. So we do have the national animal of Canada in this Pokemon with the beaver tail. It's got the polar bear face, Sawsbuck body. I think I have pretty much hit the nail on the head here. I think I hit a home run with my Australia episode, and I think I've hit a home run with my Canada episode as well. So, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You name this Pokemon in the comments section down below. I believe in our Australia episode we had like all of one suggestion, and it was Slassigator, and I think that's pretty good. I'll put him right there just to remind you guys of what he looked like. But yeah, it's turned out pretty good. name this guy in the comments, and if you want to see other countries viewed or whatever, comment that down below as well. If you enjoyed this video today, then please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well so you can get instant updates anytime there's a new upload. In any case, my name is Raggy Rog. Thank you so much for watching the video today. If you enjoy this content, please let me know because I love making it for you guys. In any case, you have a good one. I'll see you next time.